see the United States going in the bottom. That means that it's live?
Yeah. It's
All
a
right.
big place.
Cool.
Okay, so welcome everybody to our FBS chat. Today we have Keiko.
Yes.
Hi, Keiko. Keiko
Hi.
is currently in Colorado,
Yeah.
and we're really, really pleased to have you with us. We always start with how practitioners got into that solution-focused approach,
Yeah.
and what inspired you by that approach, and what made you keep working with it. So tell us a bit about how that happened.
So I came across SFBT by sheer luck. I was working at the community mental health for children and families since I graduated from graduate school in California, and I must be like 3 years into that kind of work in a community agency with a very low financial, very impoverished area. And my company sent me to the Solution Focus Brief Therapy conference that was held in that city that I was living in. They sent me because it was free, practically, because we were working for state. So the state was hosting that conference. So they're like, go to the workshop. You can earn the continuing education hours, which we have to do as a licensed profession. And they were like, we don't have to pay, go get your hours. And then I was sent. I had no idea what conference I'm going in. I had no expectation besides like, oh, I don't have to see clients for a handful of days. I don't have to do paperwork. It's like vacations for me. So I went, and the first day I remember I took a SFBTA 101 by Joel Simon. He's from New York, and he was giving the introductory course on what the SFBT means and how the structure goes and all this basic information. And then I was like, oh, okay. And at the last, he said, as the solution focus brief therapist, you don't have to give homework to the client. And that hooked me to the SF because until then, I was using CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and you have to give assignment. You have to come up with some nifty tool that the client can use. And I sucked at it. I had no idea what works for them. One is because I was born and raised in Japan, where parents says what to do. A very different culture, and my town is very small farming town, so everybody knew everybody. Kind of into a few generation back, they were all together. So my cultural background and understanding of the family system is very different from who I was serving then. Very impoverished place with very tight-knit family, but then had a lot of gang affiliation, a lot of drug issues, grandparents raising the child, very different, a background and needs that my I thought it was clever assignment didn't work with them. They were like, no, I'm not going to do that, or no, it doesn't work, or yeah, I have tried that. And I was like, I really, really don't do well. So the fact that Joel Simon said that, no, you don't have to give homework or assignment or task to them was pressure off of me as a clinician. And I was like, oh, okay, then I want to know more about it. And then as the day goes in the conference, I learned more from many different presenters. I saw a Pam King's presentation then, and she showed a wonderful video of her working with mom and daughter. And I still remember the time when I saw her videos, and then the mom transformed to a therapist role in that conversations, where she became more curious about the daughters, what is going well, or what she will be doing differently, and what helped her, and her child vision of the preferred future. And then Pam was like encouraging mom, yes, that's good question, things like that. And I was like, this is magical, because I can get off of this therapist role, and then they are forming the bond that is helping each other, right? So I thought that was wonderful. This solution focus I knew so little at the time was like, oh, this is wonderful. This is what I want to do. I want the clients to be independent from the therapist at some time in their life, and then just live life without needing much of the professional role help. Of course, there is time and place needing a professional help, but then I don't want them to be dependent on me to go through life every single week, if it makes sense. So I was like, this is perfect, So that's how I started. And then I start taking courses from Terry Pichot, who is in Colorado, Denver, Colorado, and also took some classes from many different venues. Yeah, so that's how I started.
So, in terms of, I know you said that it was really great to have it's very empowering for the client.
Yeah.
It's them coming up with the solutions rather than you being the expert, and not having to give homework.
Yeah, I don't have to say yes, but it won't work.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what else resonated with you? It couldn't have just been, I don't have to give them homework.
Yeah. Another part that I loved about is that I can really focus on their strengths and resources and how wonderful they are as a person, instead of dig down on the what didn't go well, what kind of bad thing that happened. One of the internship that I did during the graduate work was at the substance abuse inpatient treatment, where they stayed about 27 days to get off the drugs or substances or alcohol. And one of the kind of underlying message for the professionals were that maybe it's not really true at this moment for the substance use misuse treatment, but at the time when I was told, like, if you make the client cry about some hard things that they did, is a good therapy. And then personally, I don't like people crying. I feel like it's really, really tough to make other people cry, or I guess repent or something like that. And the fact that I can focus on what went well, how they came out of that tough time, or what kind of great thing they are doing already, is another things that I really gravitated towards solution focused brief therapy. Yeah.
Wow. And when you so obviously if the training wasn't free,
Yeah.
and your agency didn't say, you know what, Keiko, go to this because it's not costing us nothing,
Yeah.
do you think you would have still been looking for something else?
Yes, I was looking for something else, and one of the modality that I was looking into was Rogerian therapy, where you kind of see the whole person, and focusing on their resilience. And then another one I was looking into was positive psychology. Seligman's and these Matthew Seligman's kind of did positive psychology. So I was like, oh, maybe I I want to look into that.
Mm.
So I was looking at the time, but that I would never came across solution focus like how I did. And then
Mm.
another things that I found out later when I got to read about Insu and Steve is that they were in Milwaukee in United States. And then I lived in Illinois, which is like next states over, only like 4 or 5 hour drive. At the same time, they had the training center there. I was
Mm.
like, oh, it was not meant to be at the time, I guess. But I was
Oh.
like, oh, I was living so close and I didn't know anything about them, right? But
Mm.
at the time when I learned about them, they already passed. So I was like, no, I can't. Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
so if I was not sent to them, I would never knew about this
Mm.
modality.
So so you did your training that your center had sent you to. When
Mhm,
you went back to the center,
mhm.
um, how did that go? What difference did I notice in the way you were with clients?
I was my duty at the agency was to do the assessment when the consumer comes to our agency. We do a psychosocial assessment where we hear about this history, what they're struggling with, and all that kind of thing. So I added, what is your strength? What are you good at? What do you like about things around your, or who do you close to, that kind of more get to know you kind of questions from solution focus. Added that into the assessment question because I wanted to know
Mhm.
what they're good at or what they are fascinated about, that kind of thing. So I immediately added that. And then also, when I was seeing clients 101, I talked about, who is their, important people in their lives. And when I talked to parents, I made sure to ask, so what do you like about your kids? What do you feel proud of their kids? So I added a little bit by little bit. I couldn't do entire solution
Right.
focus interview from get go. Yeah.
So it was almost it was you were filtering it in slowly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so when did it stop becoming a little add-on and became your main way of working? When did that transition happen?
I think I made that transition when I start working with the a high school kids who were sent to juvenile. Um, what did you call? It's more like it's a school where the high schooler is sent based on their bad behaviors, like
Yeah.
not the school that in the community, but they were sent to specialized school. I forgot the name of it, but then specialized school where they had officers from juvenile justice and mental health therapists, and more resources was poured in to uh, correct behaviors,
Yeah.
Like
or
an alternative school.
yes, alternative school. That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Mhm.
So I went there, and then at that time I was determined to become solution focused practitioner. I decided like, yes, I want to do 100% solution focused. So they were my practice buddies who were at the alternative school, the children's.
Mm.
Yeah.
So was the idea for that alternative school to get them to a point where they could go back to the main school, or was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Some student, well, that's another solution focus part of me. Some students said, yes, I want to go back and then graduate from that school. And some student is like, I do well here. I don't want to go back.
Mm.
So
Oh.
um, to me, it doesn't matter to me where do they graduate from. So I let them choose, like, well, other officers want you to kind of go back to your previous school or something like that, but what do you think? And some people says like, no, I think I will be better here and then graduate from this program because I don't get into trouble here. They have more, you know, officers and teachers to help me, so I should stay here. And then some kids says, no, I want to graduate from my original school so that I can be with my friends. And that
Mm.
it was very important. And then we worked on, so how do you keep this good behavior when you go back to original school, and then kind of things like that. But I did, record their us our session with their permission, of course. And then when I listened to them, then I was like, no, I'm not doing solution focused yet. And then, it's just a learning curve of like, you can see like, oh, I still, um, you know, doing CBT or other modalities. And
Mm.
now when I listen to my recording, I was like, okay, I'm kind of following, more solution focused, but still, it's learning
Yeah, yeah.
process still. Yeah,
We're all
yeah,
still
And
learning.
oh God, yeah. I mean, and like we always say, we learn from every client.
yeah.
We learn something.
Uh-huh.
So looking back at your recordings, that must have been some fascinating insight for you as a practitioner to see what was happening in those conversations.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like when I started solution focus, it was hard for me to fish out the opportunities that the client was throwing at me. And when I look back and then read the transcript, I was like, oh, there was more opportunities. I felt like they were not giving me any information or anything to follow. But when I look back, I was like, oh, yeah, I could ask about this moment or that moment or this words or, things like that. So,
Yeah,
yeah, it is fascinating. Like, even when they are complaining, there's so much rich information about them, like how they value different things in their life or what they want from our conversations. And yeah, it's just that the training your ears, I guess, is
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
key.
And yeah, like I say, we over the lockdown period, we've had a lot of our sessions with our families over Zoom with their permission to
Mhm.
record.
Of course.
And when you look back, you do think, oh my God, I missed such an opportunity. But I guess because every family is unique and every conversation is unique, even if we did find out what we missed with one family, it still may not work with another.
Oh yeah, totally.
Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things. Uh, but it's fascinating to watch how you sort of direct a conversation or don't direct a conversation.
Hmm. Hmm.
So currently, are you still in the alternative schools? What are you doing at the moment? How are you?
At this moment, I'm in a private practice and I'm teaching at university. I'm teaching SSBT at university. Um, yeah, so I changed the placement when I moved from California to Colorado. And at the time, yeah, I decided to do the private practice.
Mm. Well, that was. Did you feel that was a bit of a risk, or are you quite happy to? Did you feel it was the right time to move?
Oh, the move was because of my child had asthma, and then where we were living is like worst air quality in United States, kind of very
Mm.
famous for bad air. So we needed to get out of that city to better air places, and Denver is one of the good air quality place. So we moved there, and then the how I came to private practice is that I needed to stay home with my kids after school. I didn't have family member or friends in Denver, Colorado when I just moved. So I couldn't take on the job that required me to do the evening shift, which are only things that I found on for the mental health professionals. So I was like, I cannot do any of this work because of the time restraints. So I was like, okay, then I will just do the private practice and keep seeing clients that way. So that's how I came to the private practice. It's not because of, oh, I was at the agency and I needed something new. It was like sheerly the family commitment.
How
We
is
have
she? Oh, go on. Sorry, you got a question.
sorry, Joe.
Yeah.
Gil Green has just asked, Kado, do you have any videos on YouTube's?
Yes, I do. I just put up my videos in my private practice YouTube channel. It's called Small Steps Count Counseling. And yeah, I put my practice video with my colleague in using certain skills of solution focus brief therapy there. I debated if I want to make it public or not, but I was like, oh, what the heck? Yeah.
What is it called, Keiko?
It's called I think my channel is called Small Steps Count Counseling. Yeah. I don't
So,
know.
and you've got, so how's the training going with the university students?
Oh, it's really fun. I was a really bad student. I if you talk to my middle school and high school teacher, they will say, "Oh yeah, she was always tardy. She was not paying attention, all that kind of thing." So it's really weird for me to be teaching at the graduate level, but it's really fascinating because I can see uh, while teaching SFBT, how light bulbs go on in a student's mind, and they're like asking more questions and leaning in and all these things. So I was like, oh, this is wonderful. It's so magical moment. Like I get to witness, and I'm so happy to be teaching there. I'm really fortunate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
And
YouTube channel looks brilliant.
oh, you're looking at the YouTube channel. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I'm getting the link to share, and it's hold on, I'm subscribing.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
I will go back. Is it all right if I share it, Keiko?
Of course. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people may say like, no, this is not solution focused. Don't look at her video. Hopefully not. But
As long as it's useful, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Because when we, I think when me and Aisha first did the training in solution focus, it was a bit hard to get our head around that we didn't need to have such a deep problem exploration phase and understanding the history. Is that something your students come up with? Is that kind of the thing that you?
they're like, oh, I don't have to ask about what happened in childhood. If they want to talk about it, yeah, of course. But then you will be listening with constructive ears, solution focus ears, not just to gather the information. And then they're like, oh, I don't have to. And then, we talk about compliments or highlighting their skills or resources. And they're like, it feels so good to tell them what's they're good at. Or, we do the role play, and then the client, student who played clients, they were like, oh, it feels so good, to be asked these questions and then able to tell the story in different perspective. Or they are picking up, what I did right, or how I have to think about what I did to help me. It's really nice to hear that. And like, yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
glad.
for you as a CBT practitioner initially, and then going fully into the solution focus, because I think I think me and Aisha were pretty much the same. When we first learned it, we'd try little bits of it, but weren't quite 100%. Not that we didn't believe in it, but maybe it was lack of confidence. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Um,
confidence. Yes.
so what difference did it make to you as a practitioner having these different conversations?
I can really resonate about lack of confidence. Because there's such a big brain shift of perspective from CBT and SFBT, and I could ask the initial questions such as like exception questions, a miracle question, whatever, but it was so hard for me to follow up questions with a solution focused perspective, because I had to train my ears to listen to certain words that was completely different from CBT pick of the words. So that was the hardest one. And I didn't feel confident until 4 or 5 years in to like, okay, I'm listening specifically with these years. Yeah. Yeah.
And as a practitioner, what difference did it make when you got that different way of listening to your clients? How did it differ for you? Because I know it would have made a difference to your clients, but as a practitioner, what difference did it make?
I think my nerve went down much less during the session or before the session, of like stage fright in a way, where can I really do this? Can I really help this client, or can I make a useful conversation? Let alone maybe not change quite a bit, but then make a useful conversation where they feel like, oh, okay, good, I'm doing right, or I know what I need to do next. So I always kind of like doubted or think too much about, should I ask this question versus, oh, this question, maybe I should ask this question, or maybe use this word, instead of just going with the client and just going with the flow. I was like, let me think what I should say. But then with the confidence, with the practice, it was more easier for me, and then didn't have to double guess myself. Like, and then things like, should I ask different kind of questions? And then if you listen to the client, you will know like when you are off track. So I think it was made it more easier for me to get these cues instead of going with what the solution focused interview should be. I think I was able to go with what the client is giving, and then using that to make the session. Yeah, I think that's the difference that I see.
And I think for when we started using it, that listening was so important, and I think it made my listening even better than it was before, because I don't know what sort of question to ask unless I've really listened to what the client said. I think that was one of the biggest things for me, was that really intent listening. So, and I mean, some of the I think some of the criticisms about the SF approach is about how it doesn't really transfer into different cultures. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on that, because
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
Gil just asked, how well do you think SFT works with clients from different cultural backgrounds?
Oh, Joe, you are on the
So me and Gil were on the same page.
Yes.
Yeah, the wise mind thinks the same. You, at least you were like, no.
Because I know obviously there would be different, the languages, obviously there will be different language things, but in terms of the client as the expert and listening intently to what that client wants. Do you think culture, does it just transcend cultures, that it doesn't matter what culture you're from?
Some of the SFPT attitudes and technique works really well in Japanese as well. Like scaling question, it's very concrete, very easy to use, easy to translate into Japanese. And then some other techniques as well. However, I think because of Japanese culture, when I see a Japanese client, they call me doctor. I explain to them I'm not doctorate. I've just got the master, but because of the respect to the professional, they call me doctor, and I ask them I'm not the doctor, but they have to say it. They cannot just say hey Miss Keiko, kind of things. They call me doctor, and it's kind of like, oh no, please don't. But but so they have an expectation of, oh, I need to get something like wisdom or tips or advice from, I would like to get it from professionals. So I think giving task, like, brief moved away from giving tasks at the end of the session compares to Milwaukee style, where they had, notice these things until next sessions, or, oh, try this different things when this is happening next time. That kind of task formulation. Nowadays the trend is to move away from these task creating process. But I think in a session in Japanese, there are still components that they are looking for this task or advice or wisdom, something to do, the professional said to do, or that weights a little bit more heavier in the Japanese culture, I think.
Right.
Mhm.
Because in their eyes, you're the expert.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you tell me to do something, it must be a good idea. So,
Yeah.
so with those clients, I guess if it works for that client, then giving some advice wouldn't be against the way you work. It's just
Right.
I get what you're saying, because my parents also they would, a teacher, a doctor, anyone in authority, you would absolutely listen to and respect what they had to say. So how do you stop being too directive with those clients and still let them, even though they don't know it, but come up with their own solutions?
Right. I still follow this, teaching from Milwaukee Times, where if it's working, do more of it. If it's not working, do something different. And we explore that in the conversation, what is working for you right now. And then if you have the chance to redo or do something different next time, what would you make different? What difference you want to create, so that more likelihood of succeeding something or things like that. So I kind of use that secretly. I don't say like, oh, you told me this, so let's do this. I just
I
say
do
like,
exactly
well,
the same.
yeah. I don't tell them that, oh, it came from your idea, but
Yes.
pretend like I came up with it, and then
Because when
say
I have
like,
Turkish clients, Keiko, I end up doing the same, because they haven't called me doctor yet. But if anyone Turkish is out there watching this and I ever get to work with you, I'm not going to stop you. But they've never called me doctor yet. But they do kind of have that level of respect of, you have the power to heal all and tell us what the answers are. So I do it exactly in the same with you, in a very, very subtle way. But, you did say this. How did you manage to do that? It is amazing when it's someone with that high level of respect for what you do.
yeah, Yeah, it's very strange because I was trained to be a counselor in United States. I never been trained in Japan. So my attitude was more equal. We are the partner. Let's help each other and creating something for you. So yeah, when I was like put in a position of, oh, you are the expert, full of wisdom, I was like, no, please don't. But I had a chance to attend a workshop by a solution focused practitioner in Japan when I went back home for summer vacation. And I was like, oh, this is how they kind of preserve their clients' respect to you, but then kind of being equal partner at the same time. It's just a little, artistry that they created or, preserved from early years. Yeah.
Mark wrote, guys. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Can you see that, Joe? Do you want to read it?
Yeah. So in what
My eyes have gone
way?
blurry. Sorry.
Your face has gone blurry too, by the way. Just say from here. So Mark is saying, so in what way can you, as the expert for the client, use your language and other components to show respect to your clients like they show respect to you by calling you doctor? I know it's long. I don't know if you can see it under there, Keiko.
Yeah, I see that question. So they were expecting me to give them something, and I will pick whatever they told me into some nice package advice or, oh, please focus on this and then make a mental note about when the time went well or more things that you learned about yourself so that I'm giving them something, but it's based on what they told me. Right. Like Alicia, you said, because of their respect, they're expecting you to give them something. So, yeah, use what they told me, what they want to aspire to. I think solution focused process naturally kind of embedded that, so that it's easier to give them something back. Yeah.
And do you find, because I find that when you translate it, so I've got to be very careful with how I do that because it doesn't always make sense.
Right.
Do you find that as well, or are your sessions in English? Because when I speak in Turkish, I need to make sure that what I'm saying makes sense to them rather than directly translating it. Because when you ask what are your best hopes in Turkish, it has a completely different meaning. It's almost like if a miracle happened, that's how it kind of translates. So you've got to be really careful. Do you find that?
Yes. Yes, I find that as well. So best hopes is difficult for me to say if I direct translate it into Japanese because best has a connotation of like perfect future if it occurs instead of kind of better. Where they're like, well, if I were a perfect parent, I will be doing this. I should be doing that. And then I was like, no. Based on what you can do, where you want to see yourself, things better, right? So I have to be careful not to direct translate from English. But then at the same time, the solution focus is such a conversational language where I don't have to use a lot of jargons as if I were in a psychoanalysis or some other modalities. So it is kind of easy, but it's kind of difficult because I have to watch out what I say. And then also miracle. I had a hard time translating that using the miracle question into Japanese. so that I'm not saying a fantasy world, right? I want them to think in a realistic future version of themselves instead of some kind of fantasy where they had superpowers and do this and that. So it is, I have to be watchful what I say, like you say. Yeah.
Same here. The other thing I wanted to ask you, Keiko, which I'm really interested in, and I know Mark has also done some work with homeless people, but so have you.
Yeah. I did a short period of time. I was volunteering at the homeless resource center. It was no shelter where they stayed, but they were day treatment or daytime resource center where homeless people can come in and do activities or just do like chores like dishes, laundries, taking showers, that kind of resource center where they could come during the day. And then I volunteered in a family room where they're allowed to stay with the children, because the children are not allowed to go anywhere in the building but this child room. So if the parents wants to stay with the children, they have to come to that room instead of other part of the room. So that room had like shower, laundry, these basic things so that parents can do the chores while watching kids or interact with kids. So as a volunteer, we were to provide children some activities if they need help with colorings, or we didn't provide the schooling, but we did art activities, or if they wants to play with you with a toy, we could that kind of things.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then that kind of wanted more geared to wanted to work with new moms, because um, they beat themselves up a lot of being homeless with the little kids. I'm not doing anything good for the kids, that kind of mentality. And then when I see their interaction, I wanted to argue with them, saying, no, you are doing a lot to the kids. Look how you are holding them so nice and cuddly with them. Just these teeny tiny things that makes their life uh, so much meaningful. Yeah, the situation is really hard. You don't have place to stay stable every night. You maybe needs to go to different shelter tonight. But even with that kind of circumstances, they hold each other's, and then groom each other. They talk nicely to each other. Make sure the kids got everything they needed with what the parents had. That kind of moment. And then I didn't it was not like a counseling session where I had a one-on-one talk with the parents, but then, I could point that out to them, like, oh, it's so nice how, she seems to enjoy how you're reading to them. Look, and then parents is like, yeah, true. I do something, that moment is such a blessing for me to observe. Yeah.
Yeah, and even in those moments that seem desperate and
Hmm.
lacking any hope,
Right.
so those small conversations can make a big difference, can't they?
Hopefully, we
Mm.
can only guess, right? Because they don't usually come back to say, "Hey, did you remember you said this?" Well, some people do, but not a lot.
Yeah.
When I was there, you never know who will come that day, and then the solution focus trained me to not assume that I will see the same people again and again. This might be only last one that they will be able to come around. And that kind of focused led me to just say what come up in my mind, especially because of course I didn't have that pressure of, oh, you have to create, better future for them. I just weren't hearing interacting with them, so it was just different pressure or responsibility. But it was nice to able to say what struck me meaningful, and then not expect them to come every single time I was there or every week. Yeah. Mhm.
So, Keiko,
Yeah.
are you a solution-focused parent?
I would say about 40% of the time, I will be honest. I cannot be solution focused parents 100% of the time. I would be going crazy. But I incorporate them into my daily life. Yeah, because they said, "Oh, the brother did this, and I didn't get my turn," or these complain. And instead of assuming what I need to do for them, I ask them, "So what do you want? What do you need?" And then they would tell me, "Well, I need to have a quiet time right now," or I need my turn to do certain thing, or things like that. Of course, they're 12 and 7 now, so they can tell me a little bit more, but they know what they want, because sometimes I assume, and then they're like, "No, mom, this is not what I want." And then I was like, "Okay, then what do you want?" Yeah. And then
Yeah, because I think the only reason I ask is because there's that element of patience that I seem to have with other people's children. It seems to it seems to wane a bit
yes.
with my own, yeah, Aisha can attest to that. But no, I
Yeah,
just thought,
I do start off with my children. One's 5 and one's 11. I had to think about that, 11. But I do start very much a solution-focused mum. So what difference would it make if you did share that with your sister? And then before you know it, within about 2 minutes, I'm far from being solution-focused.
Yeah.
But I do start. And
I do.
and you just can't help it with everyone else's. I'm absolutely patient and I'm listening and I'm fine. And I look for those little nuggets. What do you mean you didn't do this?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think that's when I think of like our role as a parent is we have to have some standard. I'm from a family system theory person as a marriage and family therapist. So and then also like Asian patriotic, growing up, there are certain standard that I expect my children to do. You brush your teeth, change your clothes, look after yourself, all that kind of thing. And I kind of see myself when I'm a therapist role or the coach role, I can be like grandparents role, right? Where I don't really have much of the responsibility to the children. But as a parent, you have a responsibility. I cannot just let them suffer or, go bunkers. I have to maintain some of the structure as a family. So I think that's where it comes in, where I have to step out of the solution focused parent and then, no, you are doing this today.
yeah,
You have a little choice which order you want to do, but you have to do this today. Versus like, oh yeah, if you want to eat candy for your dinner, you can. Right? I can't do that. Well, and then let's take like a dinner time. I'm more like, okay, this is dinner. You pick what you want to eat out of dinner table, and feed yourself. There are different parenting style where, oh, if you don't like the dinner, I will make something different for you. I didn't grow up like that, and I don't do that to my kids. So I was like, okay, if you don't like that dish, okay, you have 2 more dishes that you can pick from. You can eat. And then there is, lunch and breakfast tomorrow if you are not really satisfied with dinner tonight. So okay, but yeah, so I have that expectation like that, where they are not expecting me to make a new dish for them. So that part is like not solution focused at all. But yeah, that's why I said about 40% solution focused.
I think
Yeah.
40%, and Raya Gorgeous said 40% seems pretty high and impressive, and I agree. It once backfired on me. I think I was nagging about something, and I can't remember what. But my 11-year-old, who was 10 at the time, said, "What difference do you think it would make to me if you nagged me less?" And she said it in this therapeutic tone. What difference would it make? She wasn't angry. She wasn't laughing. It was just, what difference would it make to me if you nagged me less? And I just stared at her. What?
You did a
And I
great
really had to
job.
think about the answer.
You're doing great job. They're internalizing it, that they can use it.
But they're using it against me.
I know. I tell myself a lot, because that the annoying things that they do, arguing with me, negotiating with me, they're practicing on me the skill they need when they get to adults. Because you know uh, as adults, you have to negotiate with your employer about the benefits, or the time they needs to do, or wages they're gonna get, all the different things. And I want them to be able to speak up and then use them, but not really fun to be a parent. And then be in practice with these skills. I wish they would do it outside of the house, but I guess they have to do it at home.
I love you to be assertive, but not with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, got you.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
So what the answer you came up with? Did you answer her
I think,
or him?
I was just thinking about what I said. I think what I actually said to her was, just give me a minute and I'll come back to you. And I did. And I actually complimented her for asking that question, and then told her never to ask me that question again. Because I'm the mother, and if I want to nag, I will nag, and I wouldn't need to nag if you just did as I asked. And I didn't ask once or twice or 3 times. It was the 4th time. And then I went into the proper Turkish mother mode. But I did compliment. Well done. You asked it in a beautiful way, sweetheart. I was really impressed. You're clearly picking up from mummy. Well done. Keep it. However,
Yeah, that's the 40%, and then however is the mother part.
And I was really impressed. I was shocked. I was impressed. I was like, wow. And my first thought was, I've really got to tell Joe, which is what usually happens. I've got to tell Joe. But then I kind of screwed it up after that.
No, you just be a proper mother. Yeah.
I nag if I want to nag.
Mm-hmm.
So how is the private practice going for you, Keiko? How's that?
Going well, I hope. But with the COVID, and then my children are homeschooled, where they are not going to a public school right now. They are homeschooled. So I cut down my private practice into very short period of time a day. So I see only a handful of client right now, and waiting for and then doing it online. I can do so little, I feel. But it's open, it's going, but it's not as long as like all day I have office hour. Mhm.
So how is it working with? Did you say you did some marriage work as well? What's that like with couples?
with the couples, I have to confess, when I went to the course, graduate school that specialized in teaching marriage and family therapy, I was thinking of family, learning about these dynamics and all that kind of thing, and then didn't dawn on me that I have to see couple, and I didn't like working with couple for longest time. It was just like, I am marriage and family therapist, but I hate seeing couple. I had difficulty with it. It just like it was really hard, but with the learning solution focus made it a little bit easy. Still, it's not my favorite things to do, but still, like when you're working with the client one-on-one, um, individually, it doesn't mean that relationship in marriage doesn't come into the talk anyway. So, I consider that can be a marriage therapy, even if I work with one person from the marriage. And I think, solution focus helped me a lot in terms of coming up with like mutual goal or somewhat mutual goal for them, um, and then to respect each other in a way instead of taking aside. A lot of time they're looking into like, oh, professional will tell us who is right and who is wrong, right? Or
Tell her she's wrong. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I've got you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think some people will be like, why you are asking these questions? I thought you will tell me I was the right one in the therapy or in a relationship. And yeah, sometimes I said, no, that's not my role, mm, you know, and my role is for you to find something that is useful so you can enjoy the marriage, you enjoy the relationship, right? So so that's my
Echo,
marriage
if anyone
therapy part.
anyone wanted to get in contact with you regarding, private counselling, how could they do that?
You can email me or you can go to my website. There's a contact form in there. Do you want
Website?
me to type in my contact information?
Well, if you can tell me your email, your website, I'll type it in.
Yeah, my website is called smallstepscount.com in one word.
Smallstepscount.com.
Yeah.
There we go.
So do you do training outside of the university as well, Keiko, or is it just purely at the uni at the moment?
Right now, I'm just doing the work training only at the university. Hopefully, I will be more master enough to do the training outside of the school. Yeah.
So so what's your plans for the sort of near future? What's left for you to achieve?
One thing is to working with uh, I don't know if you knew Marco Matera from Italy. I got his solution focus agenda, and then I'm hoping to translate it in Japanese.
Oh,
Like you said, Alicia, am I saying your name right?
I answer to anything, Keiko. It's Aisha, but I answer to anything.
Aisha, yes, I know. Sorry, Aisha.
It's
Like
all
you said, like translating into different language is, yeah, totally different brain function that I haven't
right.
used for a long time. So it's taking a while. So hopefully I can publish that with his help. And
Brilliant.
another thing, yeah, is thinking about is to the solution focused parenting. I'm thinking of making worksheet or workbook for new moms to remember their, wonderful quality they have, skills they have, because as a new mom, everything goes out the window, and then only you can think of is like, I'm a horrible mom. Why do I choose to be mom? Oh, I suck at this, I suck at that. It can be really tough. So I was thinking like some solution focused worksheets or workbook so that they can still remember.
What a
Yeah,
beautiful idea.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
So
almost like like a self-help, just to remind yourself that.
yeah,
Excellent.
yeah.
Can you read that? I'm not going to read it, Keiko. Read it yourself if you can.
Can Keiko translate a collective manifesto? Oh.
That's right, I go.
I will try. I will ask my other solution-focused practitioner in Japan to help me out. Yeah, but it will be nice.
Yeah.
Honestly, and that's something that we say every time. Is everyone is very giving and thoughtful and look out for each other, and that's amazing. Didn't I tell you she's lovely, Joe?
You did, and you are very lovely,
Oh,
Keiko.
thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely a delight. And I haven't been able to join any SF uni in a very long time because of work commitments. But I hope to be joining next week. I'm planning to join next week.
Cool.
But just give me a little nudge if you can.
Yes, I can text you. Hey, it's time.
Yeah, just kind of remind me, send me the link, do something and say, oi, join. Don't give me a choice because otherwise things happen.
And then it's just your time. Our time is like middle of the day, but then your time it's like almost like really late in England. Yeah. So I was like so impressed.
I think it was 11 p.m. when I joined last time, which is fine. That's not the issue. I just get carried away with doing other things, such as watching Netflix. So, and I hope Elliot doesn't hear that. But I would appreciate you kind of saying to me, this is the link, now join.
Yes. I can
Don't give me an option. Just say, this is it. Do it. Do it. Do it. And then I'll go, oh, Keiko said, and then I'll do it.
Okay. I will make sure.
But it's been lovely having this conversation with you. Very insightful.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's
so
wonderful to talk about
and lovely to meet you. Aisha's right. You come across as a very warm, and if I had a counselor, I'd love them to be someone like you. You're lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Mark's just reminding me there is a newsletter.
She can't translate
the personal message has a different weight to it, doesn't it?
No, what Mark's saying, Joe, is that SFU have a newsletter. Like I can just read it and join.
Oh right, okay, cool.
So now Mark and Keiko will be kind of poking me to join, and I'll be like, one of my friends, please remind me, please. But you are absolutely amazing, and I hope to see you next week at one of the SFUs. But you really are amazing, and I can't say it enough.
Thank you.
So Gil saying thank you, Mark sending Raya. There's so many people watching this. Can I just ask you to wait here and not go anywhere while we quickly say goodbye? And on Monday we have Jonas Wells, and I can't say that without smiling. Jonas Wells. Will be joining us at 7 p.m. UK time. So I don't know, I'm still laughing. I don't know why. I can't say Jonas Wells without laughing. Sorry, Jonas. And I know he was watching actually. So we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, Keiko. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.